This recipe is a Spanish-inspired tapas classic. It's potatas bravas, lovely crispy little potatoes with a tomato and smoked paprika relish. It's going to be a little bit lighter, a little bit more vibrant, but absolutely packed full of flavour. First thing you need to do, get a pan of water on the boil, and we're going to get some salt in there. We need to get these potatoes cooking. We're going to go for 4 potatoes, 1 per person, nice and easy. Glass bowl. Now I got taught this technique by a Spaniard actually on how to cut the potatoes. It sounds crazy, you know, I can cut potatoes, but the way you do it is you put your knife in and then you twist, and what you get is a nice piece of potato that'll be lovely and fluffy, but you get these little coarse textured bits, and that means that we'll get lovely crispy edges, little gnarly bits. Carry on cutting the potatoes until you have done all of them. Just add the potatoes really carefully into the boiling water, and we're going to cook those for about 3, maybe 4 minutes. While the potatoes are cooking, I want to turn my attention to some peppers. I want to roast a lovely sweet Mediterranean style peppers. So very simple, just take a baking tray, pop them straight on there. We'll get a bit of olive oil on there. Just put your thumb over the bottle and just drizzle a bit on, and then some salt. That'll help kind of draw all the moisture out, and a little bit of pepper. And then we're going to roast those in the oven, 180 degrees, for about 10, 12 minutes, just to kind of soften them a little bit. So first things first with the onion. Just really carefully cut the top off. You just want to take those little strands off there. So that will help hold the onion all together. And then we'll just peel it. This will allow us to be able to chop this really, really fine and get a really beautiful salsa that's full of flavour and full of freshness. Right, onion. Chop it in half, straight through that core, and then we're just going to run the knife through nice and fine. As finely as you can possibly manage. Just shred these onions. Take time. It's really important to get everything nice and finely chopped. And we'll just put those to one side. Okay, so we're going to make a dressing to put our onions and our tomatoes and everything else in. Sherry vinegar gives a lovely flavour. And to make our dressing, we want about 1/3 vinegar. And then you want 2/3 oil. So to add some real elements and depth of flavour, we've got some beautiful smoked paprika. This is the real deal, this is the authentic stuff. You can't really cut corners on this. You want to buy a really good one. So we'll have 2 tablespoons in there, because we want to get that lovely smoky flavour. And then I've got a little bit of cumin, just 1/2 teaspoon of that. And then we'll add a pinch of salt, a few twists of black pepper, and then a tiny little bit of honey just to kind of bring it all together, round off the vinegar and the oil and sort of gel it together almost. Give that a quick whisk. And straight away you can see the vibrant colour that's got. It's going to taste amazing. We get these onions, so we'll pop those in. And we'll just let them sit in the dressing. Take our tomatoes. We've got a nice mix. We've got some lovely red fine tomatoes and some little golden yellow ones as well. These are going to be incredible. So we'll cut them into quarters, and I'm just going to carefully take the seeds out because that's full of water. So once you've taken the seeds out of the tomatoes, just put them together and just chop them up into little pieces. This is homemade. This is going to taste so much better than those jars of salsa that you can buy. Okay, we're going to do the red tomatoes now. Exactly the same. Just cut them into quarters, whip the seeds out, and then dice them up into little pieces. Leave the peppers to cool for about 10-15 minutes till you can start to handle them, and then just carefully, the skin will just peel away. Look at that, really, really easily. Just drain any of the liquid, pull any of the skin off there, and then just pop that on the tray. Do the same with the other. And then we're just going to chop this up and add it to the salsa. Spring onions. These are going to give a lovely, vibrant green colour to the salsa. So cut them straight down the middle. These are already washed, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to shred them up. 2 or 3 together. And then nice and fine while you're chopping the white bit. And then as you get a little bit further up to the top, the green bit's a lot milder, a lot sweeter. We can chop that a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay, so straight into the bowl as well. Last few ingredients now. Red chili. It's optional. If you don't like it hot, don't add the chili. If you just want the smokiness, just stick with the paprika. So we'll just scrape the seeds out there, and then we'll chop these up. So firstly into little matchsticks, turn them around, and then we'll chop them into really fine dice. There we go. Straight in there. Now I'm going to, some fresh coriander. This will just really finish this salsa off well. But we want to make sure that we use all the stalk. Whenever you're cooking with coriander, the stalk is packed full of flavour. There's so much more in it than the leaf. So make sure that you take your coriander and group all, you see these stalks here? These are the bits that are full of flavour. This is where it's all at. So chop those really nice and fine as you can possibly imagine. Take your time, and then as you get towards the leaf at the top, we just loosen the chop a little bit so it's bigger leaves. There we go. So this bit, this first half where all the stalk is, grab that bit first. We'll add that straight into the salsa, and then we're going to keep the leaf to one side, all chopped and ready, and that'll be to finish it. Give it amazing fragrance and flavour. Give your salsa a really good stir. Get all those amazing flavours together, working. So we're going to leave that to one side for about 10-15 minutes. The flavours will intensify, everything will marry together, and it'll be ready for your crispy potato. Potatoes have been cooking, boiling away in some salted water just for a few minutes, and then we just pour them into a colander. It's really important to leave those potatoes, let them steam, let all the moisture out of those potatoes so that when we are cooking them, they get super crispy. We'll just get a pan on the heat, get it nice and hot, and I'm going to get some chorizo in there. Amazing flavours. Chorizo can just add such an intense kick of flavour. So we'll just cut, say that much, okay? That'll be plenty. And then cut it down the middle, and then cut it down the middle again. So we've got it into quarters, and then we're just going to cut it into little pieces. So there we've got our chorizo, just need a bit of garlic. 1 clove will be fine. So just put your back of your knife over the top of the garlic, put your hand over, fingers up, out the way. Just give it a crack, and then you should be able to just unwrap that clove really easily, and then we'll just slice it up. So my pan's nice and hot, so we're going to put the chorizo straight in. Start to hear that little sizzle. A little bit of oil. That'll just help it get going. And then we'll add our garlic in as well. And then we're going to add a little bit more of this smoked paprika. So about a teaspoon in there. And then we'll just mix it around a little bit. And instantly, look at that oil colour there. That vibrant red. Once we get those potatoes in this oil, they're just going to suck up all the flavour. So potatoes are nice and drained and fluffy now. Just a little bit cooked, not too much. And we're just going to pour those straight in the pan. And then get your spoon in and then just start to stir it round. It's important to give it a stir at the beginning and then don't touch it because we want to get beautiful crispy bits. You see how the colour is taken straight away onto those potatoes. That's what we're looking for. Get them all coated nice and evenly. There we go. Turn the heat up and then don't touch it, okay? Until it starts to get beautiful and crispy. While the potatoes are cooking, it gives me just enough time to get some more things out. So some beautiful fresh sour cream. That'll taste incredible with this. So good few spoonfuls. I like to just put everything in bowls so everyone can just kind of make it their own, make it the way they want it. A couple of limes. Love squeezing lime over things like this. Just gives such fragrance and freshness to a dish. So quarter those limes in there, and then our beautiful fresh salsa. Give it a little stir, and then straight into a nice big tapas bowl. A little bit of fresh coriander on there. I'm actually going to finish that salsa with just a squeeze of lime. Just gives it that last oomph before you tuck in. These potatoes have now been cooking for 7-8 minutes now, and if I just give them a toss around, look at all the lovely crispy bits there. You see that? That's what we're looking for. crispy, gnarly, bang, full of flavour. Take your tapas dish and then really simply just scoop them straight in. And then you have got to finish this with a good sprinkle of fresh coriander. And that is it. That is your tapas dish. This will delight your guests, your family, whoever is tucking into this. It will taste incredible.